Hi friends, it's Victor Costa and welcome to the Daily Lift. I hope you're having an outstanding day and I hope today's podcast makes it even better for you. So many people tell me that they aren't doing what they were meant to do. They have these jobs that they go to on a daily basis to pay the rent, pay the bills, basically just to survive and eat, but they're not really passionate about the job that they have, and they are sort of unhappy that they aren't doing what they feel that they were meant to do with their lives. And I wanted to share with you today some insight and hopefully make you feel better about the job that you have, even if it isn't the job that you feel that you were destined to do. And I want to just highlight the fact that if you are employed and you get up in the morning and you have a job that pays the rent, pays the bills, you're contributing to society, your tax dollars are what is utilized to take care of the roads and the schools and other things like that. So you're a contributor. If you're doing that and you're surviving, there is no shame in having a job that you aren't passionate about, but you nevertheless show up for every day and try your best at that job, right? And so it's not a shameful thing to be employed in spite of the fact that you're not doing maybe what you feel that you were destined to do. So there's no reason to take that feeling of bringing that sense into the job on a day-to-day basis. In other words, showing up for the job and saying and quoting and feeling and having in your vibration, I know I wasn't meant to be here. I know that there's something greater for me. I know. Instead, do the job with the most amount of passion you could possibly have for that particular job that you're doing, in spite of the fact that you know that maybe there is something better for you out there, that you're destined for greater, or that it's not your ultimate dream job. There is no shame in taking pride in the work that you have before you. There is no shame in not being in the job that you feel that you were meant to be. There's nothing that can be gained by doing that job with a reluctance. Now, a lot of people feel like, well, maybe if I really do become passionate about the job I have, I will, quote unquote, get stuck and forget about those dreams that I had. In other words, I will accept the fact that I am going to settle for this position. And I want to tell you that there is no such thing as being able to trick yourself into that. You may feel that you were destined for more. You may feel that you have a certain job that is below your talent level or skill level, but there is nothing good that can come out of doing that job with a poor attitude, and there is no good that can come out of doing that job shoddily, right? So what you want to do is dream for the job that you want or the thing that you'd like to be doing. That's never going to go away, and use the hours that you're not immersed in your occupation. And when I say occupation, I mean even if you're waiting tables, even if you feel that you're doing something that you weren't designed to do ultimately, wait tables with the greatest gusto you could muster. Give the people that are in your restaurant the experience they'll never forget, and at the same time give yourself the sensation and good feelings that come from giving other people an experience that they'll never forget. And this in no way, shape, or form chips away at the dream. I just want you to know that. And I used to feel that way too, that if I were to immerse myself in the job that I had at hand, I was somehow not doing honor to the dream that I had. And I want to tell you that that's not how success happens. That's not how finding your destiny happens. It comes from immersing yourself in the task that you have before you and taking pride in that task regardless of what it is. If it's cleaning toilets, clean them to the best of your ability, knowing that other people will recognize your work and be happy that they get to sit and be in a clean restroom. If that's all it is, knowing that you are cutting down on bacteria and germs, if that's all it is, that you're contributing to the hygiene of the overall environment, the hygiene of the overall company, think of it in those terms. Don't think of it as a menial task. There's a different way to think about this without lowering yourself to the level of your occupation. You can raise the occupation itself. You could raise your status within your occupation, and you can raise the occupation itself. There is no task that isn't noble when you really think of it. Everything has to be done, right? Someone has to do everything. Well, if you are one of those people that feels like I'm doing one of those things that just has to be done, what is the worst thing that could come from doing it to the best of your ability? Well, you'd have a lot of pride, right? That is something that can be a derivative of even having a menial task and still doing it to the best of your ability. And then in those other hours, when you are not at the job that you feel that you weren't meant for, that's when you can reserve the time to dream and to attempt to explore and do some research about the thing that you'd like to do, or practice on your talent, whether it's an art like singing or acting or something of that sort, or if it's a business that you'd like to create, to start researching it, to start gathering partners, to start gathering ideas in the off hours. And you're going to be at that regular job, if you will, for those hours anyway. But by doing it with pride and doing it with gusto, you are not chipping away at that special dream that you have. If anything, you are going to learn more resilience. And when it happens, you can say that the ride was all the way prideful, that I was able to take pride in the work that I had before me. Because I want you to know that every occupation, every dream, every job has its aspect that you may not like. So even if you end up in the dream job, or quote unquote the dream life, there are still tasks within that that are not always the most glorious. And so I want you to be reminded of that immersing yourself in the job that you have in no way, shape, or form chips away at the dream that you have, okay? Take pride in the work that is in front of you. Understand that just being employed is an accomplishment, whether you believe it is or not. Oh, I'm only this or I'm only that. You get up in the morning and you put on your clothes, you tie your shoes, you put on your pants one leg at a time, just like everybody else, and we get up and we move forward. And that in itself is such a lesson. Even just moving forward into a job that you dislike and still doing it every day is an accomplishment. I mean, look, I remember the band director at my high school had a quote above his door: "Do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life." Well, not all of us have found that one thing that we love, but we kind of know what it is, right? We may not have been able to move into it just yet, or we may not have been able to make an income from it just yet, but we kind of have a sense and an inkling of what we know we love. And that, knowing that, it should be enough. And doing those things in your spare time should suffice for now. In other words, if you like music, you can still play music, even though you have a regular day-to-day job. If it's a garbage person or a restaurant person, or even if it's an office worker, and you love music, that you're not defined by an office or the garbage you take out. You are defined by the things that you're passionate about. So don't put off those things that you like doing. You can still like doing them and still do them, even if you're not making a living from them. So find that thing that you love and spend time doing that. Even if it's not your occupation, you can still say that I am a part of that activity, or that's something I do. So I hope this podcast makes you feel better. If this is the situation that you're in, that you feel that you're in a job that isn't quite right for you, or that there's something else for you that is more special, and I know what it's like to feel that way, there is that special thing out there for you. But there is no shame in doing the task in front of you with gusto, with pride, and to the best of your ability. And you'll be that much more prepared for that dream job or that dream task, and say that you had pride all along the route. I wish you all the best. In good health. Victor Costa signing off for the Daily Lift.